Hello, and yeah, welcome to the probably nobody that's going to be looking at this, but whatever. Worth a shot. Figured I'd try this format out. So I think I got the general gist of how all this stuff works, so apologize for any initial jank here. But at any rate, so here is the deal. Essentially we have this right here. Been working on a roster for a little while now, since we've been putting random stuff together for months now. And, well, essentially at this point, there's a good number of them. And, well, I took out all the extremely meta ones, I took out most of the community-submitted ones, to essentially have a thing that's mostly between all the story ACs, like just a rough tournament kind of idea here. There we go. Let's get this up. So, if you're familiar with how Formula Front works, the long and short of it is you basically make an AC, you give it an AI. Actually, I'll just go ahead and show you what I mean here. This is probably going to be extremely annoying to anyone that's actually seen a few of these. Well, let's take a look at Napalm Rockets here. You have to understand that with FF, there's a lot of concessions to be made, so I can remake things in the general gist of what they were originally supposed to be, regardless of which game they're from, but there will still be issues. Like, okay, so Napalm Rockets here, right? Their back cannons obviously can't be used. There's no OPI or equivalent or cheats for it, at this point anyway, in Formula Front. So instead, would essentially have their EOs functioning as those back cannons with the proper upgrades. It's, you know, close enough. It's not the end of the world. So they are still a relatively close approximation of what they would normally be. So, you know, they essentially just go through the assembly process, all the parts get tuned, and they go down here, go to their AI, and then they just get a list of different things, you know, their preferred range, whether you want them to be swapping through all their different choices randomly, or if you want them to just pick something and go for it. You know, how far you want them to emphasize lateral movement, vertical movement, and then whether or not you just want them to walk sometimes, which, you know, that's its own thing. Generally, whether you want them on the offensive or defense. So these top two are mostly just them making their own decisions. And by and large, most of their AIs are set up similarly to this, but some of them will vary. So, for example, with Oblige here, to explain the different things here, this is just roughly their awareness of where the other guy's facing, where they're facing, you know, what trajectories they're going at, as I understand it. Terrain is more their general surroundings, how well they can get around what's there, and apparently how well they can dodge things for some reason. So this is more like their just surroundings. Attack and defense strategies are exactly what they sound like. It's just how they plan their approaches to attack or defend against something. Bear in mind that sometimes you just leave points completely unused because you don't want them to be doing a crappy version of these. Again, in most cases. There are different cases, obviously, as things go, but by and large, that's kind of how it goes. These two, you never want to leave anything other than maxed out. Personally, I prefer to have all four of these maxed out. Maybe sacrifice from this one if their head part is missing some points. All the head parts have a different stat for this. And then, search is just whether or not they have a radar. There's almost no point in having that on Noblesse here. They've got two radars and a head radar. All things considered, they're never going to lose track of anyone. Right here, we have what is known well, it doesn't really have a thing. It's just a weird visual glitch that happens where if you have frame skip on, sometimes they don't appear after you've done some stuff. So we're just going to load a save state here. Never have frame skip on while you're building stuff. You run into weird glitches with this game, and it's a strange time. So, back on track here. This right here. So this is a spreadsheet of all the different fights and all of the different stuff. I've roughly sketched together a basic idea of who I want fighting early on anyway. There are 190 contestants, so it's going to take a hot minute to get through all of it. But, you know, we're going to start off right here. We have, if I can No, it's actually showing my mouse. I don't think it is. Well, that is just unfortunate. Is it? Oh yeah, it is showing my mouse. How about that? Okay, so, no, I'm thinking the BB fight from earlier. Here we are. But they're in here somewhere, dang it. Yeah, it's a little bit of a clusterfuck, not gonna lie. Great, Blazing. Yes, I know they're here. There we go, so. We've got Blazing, and we've got Stackman. So we've got these two right here. So whenever one of them loses, they're just gonna be blacked out, and then it's gonna move on. Once all of them are through once, then we'll start reassigning them as time goes on. We're just gonna go one fight, single elimination, and yeah, gonna go from there. So let's go ahead and get this started. Start with Static Man and Blazing. Man, this is too many windows. No wonder people do this with multiple monitors. Ugh. Clusterfuck Supreme. Okay. So I'm going to keep the volume relatively low in the actual fight itself. There is absolutely a reason for this. Essentially, some of the volume mixing for the game is very strange. But for example, stuff like orbits will absolutely blow out your eardrums, whereas you can barely hear other stuff. I mean, let's just say there's a lot of strange stuff when it comes to Napalm Rockets in a nutshell. So far, Blazing's running it. Tasty goodness right there. Oh wow, somebody's actually watching this crap? Hello, one guy that's watching this crap. Alrighty. Well, this goes on for a while. Eventually one of them ends up winning. As we do. Now, to explain some of the different graphs and other crap that's going on here. So you see on the bottom left, you got the little X thing. That's just roughly where they're planning to end up going, as well as where they see their general threats coming from. Where, sometimes missiles will show up on there. It's roughly speaking pretty normal. I should mention that instead of using the in-game randomizer for the sake of the maps and stuff in this one, going to be using Real Decide instead. Just because, as Zoro was pointing out earlier, essentially there's certain maps that are just not going to function very fairly. For example, one of them, the first one that came up was the reactor map. It's essentially a close range map with a bunch of ECM stuff. And the way that interference works and playing the front is essentially the same as all the other games, with the added bonus that their AI derps out if they end up being affected by it. So suddenly, out of nowhere, they'll just stand there and look at a wall and be like, I don't understand. This wall is amazing. I love the paint they put on here. And they'll just keep doing that. So it's irritating. We're just going to not use that map. There's a couple close range maps as well as the quarry. I think I took out the quarry. And by close range maps, I don't mean stuff like the hangar, because with the hangar it ends up just being this weird cover shooter situation. But when it comes to other ones, like I think it was called the dim cage or something like that, it's ones where they start off just a few meters from each other, and there's really no fair fight to be had there. Essentially, whichever one can hit harder right off the bat will end up winning that one like 9 out of 10 times. On there? There we go. Static Man won it. Okay, so that is Blazing partially eliminated. Now we're gonna have two different versions of this here. Essentially when they lose, they're gonna be marked as, let's say, a yellow here, and when they win, they'll be marked as let's do Christmas colors for the loser. Let's do Easter colors for the winner. I should probably pull this up here. not that one. That one, okay. This one right here. Let's see... purple with yellow. Neato. So this one ended up winning. If I can even friggin' find them, ended up losing. Whatever, they're in here somewhere here-ish. I literally just put this, how can I completely... there it is. Right there, okay. So, yeah. Actually, let's put this as green letters, why not? 3. Yeah, that works. Okay. That way, we can essentially break it down into 2 different brackets, and then essentially have a winner of the losers and a winner of the winners, and then have those 2 fight each other, because it seems like that's how tournaments want to go. Anyway, moving on to the next one. Let's say... Raya versus Genobi. Why not? And yeah, if there's one of these you want to see before another one, or want to see a different fight altogether, just let me know. These are essentially not going to be going for doubles, so we're going to try to make this a bit more fair this time around. Alright, so Raya versus Genobi. In the hangar. Fair enough. Get over here, spreadsheet. Where are these guys? So, Genobi's on the trade. This is another time, a good time to mention that with those concessions, 9 times out of 10, when it came to ones like Genobi, for example, the grenade launcher, essentially they were... hang on, Raya was under tragedy. They were replaced with large rockets. So just FYI. This feels like it's probably going to be benefiting Raya a fair bit. I should mention, as far as community ACs, I limited it to 3 per one of the people that usually contributed to these. So Azor, who originally got me to even try this, ProCow, who submitted a whole bunch of builds over the last few months. Unfortunately, he's been having issues lately with his account, but hopefully that'll be sorted out. Royal Angel, who's submitted a bunch of things, Bucker, who's submitted a bunch of memes, and my own, which, unfortunately, I think I gave myself a 4th one on accident, because I forgot to delete one of them, and now it's a major pain in the neck to go back and sort that out. Alright, so that is Genobi eliminated. So, purple with yellow. Genobi. Alright. It's you. How's it going? Hang on, wait. I just gave him winter colors. Christmas colors for losers. I don't know why, but that's how we're doing it. Uh-oh. Hang on. One moment, I gotta pause it real quick, because I think the little one's getting up. One sec. Okay, I'm back. That was a situation. Yeah, little one's not, so I don't know if she wants to take a nap or not, but seems like she is actually still sleeping. Any dang way, moving on. Okay, also I figured out an easier way of doing this. So, essentially, yeah, white with green means they won. And black with red means they lost. Simple. Don't know why I didn't just do that to begin with, but whatever. Alright. Let's see. Overnight versus bounty. That sounds fair. Let's make that happen. Looks like overnight. I really should have picked up an easier way to see this. Actually, let's start with bounty. So they're down on storms. Okay. And overnight. Here in murky waters. So 23. After several different ideas, I think this is about as good as it's going to get as far as visual stuff goes. So these ones are changed to be a little bit more effective than their previous versions were, just because a lot of their stuff didn't quite go as well as we'd hope as far as this one. Alright, so we just rolled Solider base, and go ahead and go there. You know, this thing that seems to change names, even though it's exactly the same map with some new fancy lighting. Alright. So, bounty over here. Oh, by the way, that whole flashing shadow thing, that's courtesy of Frameskip. I tried running it on Frameskip too, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it does. Not a whole lot can be done there. You know, aside from getting a computer that isn't several years old and not meant for this kind of thing. Or whatever. So, like I was saying, they're both a little bit improved. Copenhagen here essentially has the hollow instead of the shade, just because it more closely resembles what she actually ended up using. Whereas Bounty here actually has the spirit instead of the Sawa, just because the Sawa version was constantly losing to this one, because, again, it more closely resembles what he was originally made for. And yeah. Other than that, apparently the music got really chill all of a sudden. If you're wondering on the music, by the way, it's essentially a mix of 146 different tracks by frequency. I think that's what that is. It's just like the entire AC soundtrack plus anything else frequency has made. I don't know if it's one guy or a group or what. I think it's one guy. But whatever. Long story short, I know they've got some leg parts named after them in Verdict Day, but other than that, I really don't know much about them. I've seen them do a whole concert thing every now and then, but again, I still don't know if it's referring to the one guy and everyone else is an extra or what. Just because it makes sense either way. It doesn't seem like the kind of thing you'd really expect a concert out of, because it's all, like, redone stuff, but each their own, I suppose. So yeah, apparently things are looking alright visually. You know, aside from the crap computer parts, but we're gonna ignore that. This is going a little bit closer than I would have expected. Hang on, who's actually winning it right now? Okay, Bounty's winning it, but just barely. You may think 1700 isn't just barely, but as far as the AI goes, they can derp out and lose like 5,000 AP out of nowhere. Okay. Now Bounty wins it. Pick her upper. Okay. Bounty gets white and green. Whereas What's-Her-Face is now gone-ish. Like I said, it's essentially going to end up going in two different groups later down the line, but we'll deal with that as it comes. Alright. Looking at the lists, any requests, so to speak? Essentially all of these are color coordinated, more or less. I mean, a lot of the colors are like a tiny shade difference apart, and these ones right here that are turquoise 3 are all undecideds, pretty much. Who the hell's this? Whatever this is, apparently doesn't exist anymore. Hang on. What the hell? I should probably go figure out who that is. You know what? I'm gonna leave this up for a second and figure out who that is. What team is that? Bathyscaph? That's the Devastator. I apparently devastated the Devastator at some point. Alright, Sidehawk versus Karam? Can do. Alright, Sidehawk is somewhere down yonder. Sidehawk and... where's Karam at? Over here. They already previously had fights decided, but not anymore. They're both yellow now. Okay. Sidehawk's our first one down in Awesome. Yeah, if this suddenly goes silent over the sound of a door opening, basically was expecting some relatives to come over at any point within the next 3 hours, so go figure. Although more than likely the kid's gonna wake up and then I'm gonna have to end it at that point. Okay, so revisions on these are relatively minor. Actually, both of them carried over pretty alright. Sidehawk's... well, Sidehawk is more or less exactly the same as he should be. He actually flies the same too in most cases, whereas... also, I should probably not have this thing up, huh? Also, as far as Firebird goes, his rifle is suckier than it was before, but he's received some extra internal tweaks, so his overall stats are better. It's just his primary rifle is worse. It doesn't do its whole heat thing, which is probably alright because basically his heat rifle wouldn't have had a whole lot of purpose in this one anyway. I tried giving him the higher heat rifle, it didn't really matter. Anyway, so we rolled Hollow Arena, so this should be a pretty straightforward fight. And here it goes. I think this is a Nexus map too. I know it's in LR, but it's always hard to tell what stuff came up in Nexus and which parts came up in LR. So far, so Karam. Yeah, oh, now I remember. I was originally going to have Sidehawk fight Jouster. I'll go mark him down to something else. So far, so close. I think Karam's just gonna barely edge it out here, though. Oh, those rockets. Still close enough to go either way. Come on. Oh, crap. He pulls it out. Okay, Sidehawk does it. That's Karam down. Yeah, actually, you're right. It was Ninebreaker. It was Karam. Sorry, Karam. You are going the way of your namesake. And Sidehawk carries on. Okay. Let's see. Alright, why don't we have Patches and Wuspot fight it out? Yeah, his turn radius is actually a tiny bit slower. Not entirely sure why. Because I'm pretty sure I have the codon on him. Almost all of these have the codon on them unless they specifically didn't need it. But yeah, so we're going to do Wuspot versus Patches next. So Wuspot is one of Azur's creations. The thing is essentially, as he put it, made to constantly run away unless somebody forces it to move. It's this thing right here, and I figure Patches is pretty much the same thing, so yeah. So no count from 4 answer. Do Light City. There we go. Yeah, like I was mentioning earlier, there's only 3 for each of the contributors, aside from one extra, which, you know, was one of mine that I forgot to get rid of, but whatever. So yeah, up on the top left, we have Wussbot, who actually doesn't seem to be wussing out that much. This is one that I actually haven't made any edits to, so that's entirely on Azure. He isn't wussing out. Dang, Wussbot is friggin' murdering the hell out of Patches here. Oh, he was so trusty though. I mean, he somehow survived all of friggin' Dark Souls and Demon Souls and Bloodborne and everything. Survived being turned into a spider, survived even getting a character name change, went by Pate for a while. Friggin' died to Wussbot. Well. Such is as it goes. Alright, so. That would be no count eliminated. I'm not sure what this particular thing is from. Spot, you are turning into one of them dealies. Alright, any requests? Let's see, there's Thunderhouse versus Bolt also. Probably one of the ones that will go pretty well. Yeah, a couple of the ones I was looking forward to. So Bolt versus Thunderhouse. We got Principal versus Max Drifto, or Dorifto, as Doctor put it, which is essentially named after a friggin' drag racing Dorito, of all things. But, yeah. A Fanfare versus Iron, etc. And do. Fanfare, and where's Iron? Try and use spreadsheet, make it easier to find. He should be at least a lead. There we go. Okay. Turn those both like bright red for some reason. Alright, so Fanfare is going to be down in. Gotcha. Okay. Come on, wasted lead. Here's Iron. Fanfare's going to be the same thing. Oh. I'm looking at the right thing here. What the hell do I have? Dang it, I thought I'd get rid of all the clones. Well, crap. I didn't get rid of all the clones. Good to know. This might have to be... Yeah. I just noticed, so... That's fine, that's fine. I'll take care of it next time. That's the second thing. The second copy of Wasted Lead down in slot 21 there shouldn't have actually been around. It looks like... Dusk Arena. Well, that's fine. We'll get that corrected by next time. Yeah, so I have Iron on the sheet twice, I have Kandaki on the sheet twice, Fly... Yeah, I think this little thingy in the middle might be the only reason Fanfare has a chance. Because Iron is arguably one of the biggest competitors here. Okay, out comes the railgun. If you're wondering, by the way, Iron is on the top left, and Fanfare is on the bottom right. Actually, we're going to keep Iron's ammo count up. You might end up just using that linear thing. This Sawa's already getting pretty close to empty here. Dang, it's like 4 revisions of the spreadsheet now. I gotta finally get all the glitches out, and then it's ridiculously obvious there's 2 of the same team in there. What was meant to happen is I was actually supposed to move that one down into the other one's slot, and essentially I just missed and selected the wrong slot at one point, and then just never corrected it since. Oh well. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna add 5 more. Such is how it goes, and actually I probably overwrote somebody in the process. Alright, so that's fanfare taken out. The most fanfare, har har har. Okay, alright, fanfare. Oh yeah, that railgun's really good. Alright, you know, there's a chance. Let me see here. So this wasted lead. Oh, that's awkward. Because I have Milky Way up here. And then... You know what? We're just gonna do this the easy way, and just go ahead and mark all of these as dead. And gone. There we go, they're just eliminated now. So it's gonna be 187 instead of 190. Whatever, we'll correct that at another time. Chief is actually the guy from AC5. He's the guy that basically goes and just like it takes out a bunch of everybody on each side, and pretty much shows up in a different AC each time. So I showed the one I brought up the one that was seemingly the most fitting for this one. You know what, let me bring him up on the left slide here. You should be able to just see him. Yeah, he's in hello there. Oh, he isn't. Can I save stuff on here somewhere? Oh, it also would help if I actually looked at the right thing, huh? Okay, there we go. Wow, you can't actually see him at all. Here he is. So it's the Hanged Man. It's just basically a heavyweight dual wielder kind of thing. I can probably do Hangman versus Kaiser. Let's see, he's on Pro Squad. Once again, I will pick the wrong option if there is an option. Leptis Arena. I think it sounds like a cover of something that would be in a Pokemon game, actually. Reminds me of the casino theme. Alright, and Kaiser has been given a few little tweaks since his earlier version. Yeah, this one. Oh, wow. Kaiser is not really caring about all this guy's gravitas. So, the AC5 community seems to worship this guy. I'm not entirely sure if it's as a joke or not, but I don't really recall him being a terribly difficult boss, and he doesn't really carry over well to this one either. Alright, ready to see bazooka arms and dual grenade launchers. Yeah, that's, what's his face? I mean, that guy's in everything, but, I think it was like War Chief or something, you're right. Well, anyway, let me get Chief marked off of there. chief is marked off. Where's Kaiser to accept his prize? Over here. Accept your prize of not being eliminated. Okay. How about... I think I had Nocturne versus Shade. Bear in mind, by the way, this shade is not the same shade. So there's a couple different shades. There's Shade as in Cypress's shade, which is this one right here. And then the other one, which is Silhouette, which is Shade's AC. Which is in no way confusing whatsoever. The Silhouette should be up here someplace. Or are you Silhouette? Well, that it is. Found you. Apparently Silhouette was supposed to fight Orleans. Alright, so Silhouette is the third-ranking double shotgun guy from Southline, so we can have him either fight Orleans, who's the close-range specialist from For Answer, or it can have him fight, what's their face? You know the guy. The friggin' Nocturne. So he's the close-range specialist a-hole from Rajito in AC3. Who is A-Fall supposed to fight? Now, why don't we do Kamui and Napoleon? In the meantime. I think so, if that's the one I'm thinking of. Hang on, I'll look at that in just a sec. Alright, so we got Napoleon in the Subjugator and Kamui and the Kamui, because he's that creative with the names. I left this arena again, so it's the same place. Let's give this a go. Take a look at Fokker, right? That is a type of airplane. Now I need Armored Core Fokker, please. Kind of. He's kind of like that. That basically Nocturne, yeah, is kind of AC3 version of that guy in a sense, I suppose. Just looking vaguely at his build here. The Subjugator doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot of subjugating. Also, hang on, why? Nope, unacceptable, nope. This is entirely my fault, hang on. That one's actually not counting, because there's a disqualified part in use here. It may suddenly start spewing out stuff here, just... No music? Good. Okay. You should not have that part. Specifically went through and made sure nobody had this. The cheating dick. What time is this? Tina's hello there. Let's go ahead and save that. Alright, let's try this again. This time with less blatant cheating. Once again, you dick. Where is he at? Okay, Napoleon is on the Lynx team. There we go. Oh, hang on. I'll be right back. Alright, back forward just a little bit here. Long story short, I'm probably going to have to turn off the mic here for a little bit. And probably going to be doing a couple more, and then kind of calling it a day on this one. So yeah, if you have anything you want to get in, let me know. Yeah, so it's kind of going to be a weird snipe battle between these two. The Prometheus is supposed to be, like, well, exactly that. It's supposed to be a sniper from AC4. Rocket is the guy from the arena in AC3 that constantly switches between his different grenade launchers. I tried to make him do that as much as possible. It's kind of... There you go. He's kind of doing it. It's just this whole thing where he's supposed to constantly dance between them. Oh yeah, no, Prometheus, you're boned. You cannot be charging against this guy. That's a one-way ticket to friggin' junkyard, that's for sure. Alright, let's Prometheus out. For you. There we go, and then next up we have, well, the two Glints. Oh, yeah, no, no Men in Black on this list. Pretty much all of the ones that are movie-related and wherever else got taken out this time. The whole idea was to try and make it as likely for the story ACs to win as possible. So that's why I limited it to three community ACs per any of the people that had submitted a crap ton of them, and basically said no metas for it. So the closest thing we have to a meta, let's go ahead and have them fight it out. I can only see how this goes. So let's do... The Grill Master is the closest thing to a meta. Yeah, who was this planning to have him fight? Because I remember there was some really good fight when I was looking through these. Yeah, the closest thing to Men in Black right now, since it was practically the same thing. I just noticed I had this off this whole time. That's called I'm an idiot. Yeah, no Men in Black on this one. The closest one is over on Deep Sea Fish here. Yeah, my bad. So the closest one is Testament, which is solo from AC4. Very similar build, so I can do them if you want. Oh, whoops. Do them versus Sahelanthropus or something. Who was I gonna have fight who? The closest... Okay. So what I was trying to say earlier, and I don't know exactly when I hit the button to turn the mic off, but the plan was to have the closest thing to a meta here fight something, which is the Grill Master up here. Like a bazooka and flamethrower build. Okay, let's do Dorifto versus Principal. So funny note, by the way, and I'm actually going to leave it on this map because it's really fitting for both of them. The funny note on Sundial, there's literally no possible way for their AC to work without cheating. They use the kind of like upper-facing flat legs. They don't work at all. Like, it just doesn't do anything. No amount of tuning, no amount of like nerfing their internals, nothing makes it work. Anyway, be right back. Oops. Man, there's just... I'm gonna have to get that different button. Oh man, Vodka's gonna be pissed at me. Because I don't have his main music going on in the background. Is it too late? Is it too late, though? I mean, I guess he did... No, he definitely said for that one. He's trying to pull it back. He's trying so hard. Oh, crap! Holy crap! That comeback, though. Okay, that was sweet. Man, makes it out with 11 AP. Okay, fine. Fine, I'll turn on your meme music. Jesus, he won. Stop murdering people. Okay, so Principal's out. Oh, with your meme music. Okay. This is your friggin' prize for winning it or whatever. Friggin' Euro Slam. Holy crap, why? Love it. So yeah, he said to play it during it, but I guess we're just going to play it as a celebration instead. Alright, who next? Thermidor versus Raiden? Sound like a plan? So yeah, this is basically like a mix of friggin' Eurobeat music mixed with, well, pretty much mixing everything with Space Jam. Because of course. Yeah, let's do Thermidor and Raiden. That is not the one I wanted. Dang it. Where did I put this a-hole? Thermidor is on Bathyscap. This system is in no way confusing at all. Yeah, Maximilian Thermidor. Raiden is over on Link's team. Yeah, it's not that Raiden. That Raiden isn't in this one, I believe. Once again, I tried to keep that to a minimum. The Metal Gear team still is in it. You know, because of course they are. Yeah, Raiden, despite like a week of trying to edit that guy into something useful, just wasn't very potentially useful. Patera earrings attached to everything electronic. What? I don't follow. I also might be brain dead at the moment. A couple hours talking to friggin' eBay will do that. Hanger map. Huh. That feels very one-sided, but you know what? The whole idea behind selecting these two to fight each other was just like, what if Thermidor had taken the Raven's place, or the Lynx's place in this case, or, you know, if friggin' Raiden took his place instead. But who knows, maybe Thermidor just attacked the train. Oh yeah! That's where I've heard that before. What? Thermidor is actually winning it? So Thermidor has charging issues, largely because that's a weapon that ends up taking a lot of energy. There's actually a radiator specifically for the purpose of letting them recharge quickly and basically have no capacity whatsoever. So he can absolutely like boost for a second, fire that thing, and be completely out. because giving him a higher capacity thing just didn't work. You know what? That would be an interesting idea for a tournament. Just to, like, fuse together two different builds. Might be an idea one of these days. First, let's get through this nonsense, I think. And I'm not looking forward to remaking another one, because I thought I was done remaking them, dang it! But I guess it's just Milky Way, so that's fine. So it's Milky Way and 4 new ones. Which I guess is fine. There's a couple I was looking for excuses to remake. Okay, there we go. Looks like Raiden can win it. Goodbye, Thermidor, you douche. Oh man, that's not coming up off the top of my head, but it sounds like something that it would be. But no, I was specifically asked to play this during every time that Dorito came up, which is going to be like once every 3 hours or something. But I figure, what the hell, he won against all odds, so considering he made a 2000 AP comeback in like 3 seconds, which is weird, they do that sometimes. But they're like, oh man, about to friggin' lose, I guess I'm just gonna go erase 9000 AP in like a second. Don't question it. Alright, was I really setting up Grill Master versus... Huh. Alright, I want to have Grill Master fight someone. They're over on Bad Apple here. So, yeah, Grill Master, it's this guy. So, he's the closest thing to a meta build that's in here, so... where are you fighting? Devastator, maybe? Yeah, let's have you fight the Devastator. Sounds fair. Why is this not... Hang on. Stuck. There we go, it's back. Okay, Devastator it is. If I can even remember where the hell I put him. Alright, Bathyscath. Right. There's like 9 times out of 10, whenever I can't remember where somebody is, I'm already staring at it. Grand Arena. And I think this will be probably the last one for today. Close range, so might go to Grill Master, but huge range advantage goes to the Devastator here. So this thing I absolutely love because sometimes it'll just stay at absurdly long range and snipe. Anyway, gotta go. Alright, back for just a moment here. Say thanks for looking at this thing for so long. Apparently it was 2 at one point, but oh, whatever. Not exactly going to be drawing crowds anytime soon, but I just want to get this all in one huge chunk. At any rate, I'll be doing another one as soon as I have the opportunity to do so, and yeah. Thanks, bye.